Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. It's a beautiful day in paradise and the topic for today is the European racism against black Brazilians, my friends, that the media, they don't want to tell you about it. But I will explain to you why there's a systemic racism against Afro black Brazilians, my friends. And this topic was requested by a subscriber, so thank you for the idea. But it's not hard to see. The racism is blatant, it's systemic, and you can see it right in front of your face. Look at the government. Look at what's shown in Brazil in the media. Look at the movies you see, the sports stars. Look at everywhere, the culture in Brazil. Who has the money? Who don't? Who lives in the best homes, the best areas, my friends? And this didn't happen just out of the blue. This happened by design, my friends. And today, I'm gonna hit you with the facts. Why there is systemic racism against Brazilians. Now, Brazil is known as the largest black African population outside of Africa. But we will question that today, my friends, because the research is showing Afro-Brazilians. I just did some research this morning and I'll tell you the population size of the black Brazilians. This is saying Afro-Brazilians make up 10.17% of the whole population in Brazil. Their population stands at 20,656,458 black African Brazilians, my friends. That is just about 10% of the whole Brazilian population. We know Brazil is about over 200 million people. Now hear this, the white Brazilian population makes up 43.46% of the population. That is 88,252,121 white Brazilians. Now here's the thing. I'm mentioning this to give you a background of the racism. Now here's the thing. The mixed population in Brazil makes up 45.3%. That is the largest percentage block of population in Brazil. 45.3% of Brazilians are mixed. That makes up 92.1 million people of mixed heritage in Brazil. Those with curly hair, those that look, their skin color is like this, and there's a mix. There are many mixed people in Brazil. Now, my friends, Brazil has a racism problem. Why is this so? Brazil was first colonized by the Portuguese in the 1500s. In April 1500, Brazil was claimed for Portugal on the arrival Portugal fleet to Brazil. So they just arrived by boat in the 1500 flat. They arrived by boat from Portugal and they just say, okay, we love this land, this is our land now, so we are going to own it. And that is when colonization started, my friends. Now, Brazil got their independence in the 7th of September 1822. You hear this? Brazil got their independence from the 1500s all the way to 1822. They got their independence in 1822, the 7th of September. But hear this. Following more than 3 centuries under Portugal rule, Brazil gained its independence in 1822, maintaining a monarchical system of government until the abolition of slavery in 1888. You hear this? So they got independence in 1882, but they continued slavery for 60 something more years after. They just abolished slavery in 1888. So that was a fake independence. In 1822, you had slavery going on in the Caribbean still. Slavery was going on in America still. And Brazil got their independence during slavery. Well, who you think they're going to put in charge? Yes, you guessed that right. The Portuguese put their own government there in 1822. So that was a real plantation government of all whites. And they continued slavery in Brazil for 60 something more years after that. So that independent government was not for the black Afro Brazilians. That was installed by the Portuguese as a trick to say, okay, yes, we're giving them independence. But they gave independence to their own people. Remember I told you they first found Brazil in 1500. So for hundreds of years, they took all the resources and they occupied. They had children, they built their system, they put their system in place. They had the black Afro-Brazilians working on the farms. So the system was already in place by the time they got independence in 1822 and continued slavery up until 1888, my friends. So now, this is how the first Brazilian government looked like. I don't know if you can see. You can see here. This is how the first not Afro, these are all white people. This is the first Brazilian government, my friends. So, it's not rocket science. Let me show you how Brazil government looks like today. This is a long picture, so I'll show you half at a time. This is the cabinet, Brazilian cabinet today. I'll show you the other half now. This is the other half. All white cabinet in Brazil. Remember I told you the Brazilian population makes up 10%. Is this picture representing 10% of the population? No, it's not representing 10% of the population. And I'm gonna say America is more black than Brazil right now. Yes, America is more black than Brazil because the United States of America, the black African population is 13.7%. With a population of, let me just show you here, the population of 47.9 million black Americans live in America, African Americans. And there's more because this is just the born African Americans. We have Caribbean Americans, we have African Americans who came from the continent to study and live. So when you put all that together, it's more than 50 million African Americans. So right now, as it stands, America is more black than Brazil. So I'm gonna say America, the United States of America, has the largest black population outside of Africa, not Brazil. The largest black population outside of Africa is in the United States of America. 10% versus 13%. 13% in America is more. And you can see the treatment of black Americans in America. At least you're seeing them on the media. You see black people on the media. You see them in sports. You see them in business. You see them in movies. You see them all over the place in the United States of America. Compare that 13% to a 10% in Brazil. You should see significant amount of black Afro-Brazilians in movies, in sports, and in government. But you're not seeing that. You're not seeing that at all, my friends. And that is why I say there is systemic racism in Brazil. It was well planned. It was well planned since 1500. Since the year 1500, it was planned and delivered to Brazil. So right now, because there's a language barrier, we in the Caribbean has a community called CARICOM, and Brazil is hardly mentioned. Because of the language barrier, they speak Portuguese in Brazil. Most of the Caribbean speak English. So there's a language barrier, same as when I told you about the language barrier in Martinique. Our Caribbean brothers and sisters were suffering under the brutal French regime down there in Martinique and Guadeloupe. The same thing is happening to Brazil, and they're wiping out the Afro population there slowly by slowly. It's dropping. The Afro population in Brazil is actually dropping day by day, month by month, year by year. It is getting lower and lower, my friends. And something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. But it's going to be tough for Brazil. So I say right now we focus on bridging the gap between Africa and the Caribbean and Black America as well. And then once we gather enough strength, then we can rescue Brazil. Because right now we're stronger than Brazil. The black population in the Caribbean is massive. Look at all the governments in the Caribbean. It's all people that look like me and you in government in the Caribbean. We control the Caribbean. The black population in the Caribbean control their own government and everything in the Caribbean. In America, the black population in America is powerful as well. So let us bridge the gap between Africa, the Caribbean, Black America, and then we can focus on Brazil, my friends, because we will rescue Brazil in the future, but we need to gather some strength first before we can rescue Brazil, my friends. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Like this video, share it with all your friends and family. Please comment your thoughts. Let's have a wonderful conversation. When you comment, I will respond to your comment under this video, and let's have a great conversation about the systemic racism that is happening in Brazil right now, my friends. Something needs to happen. The media will never show you. They will never talk about it. But look at their television. Everything you see out of Brazil is all white. There's never anything about black people in Brazil. Some of us don't, some people in the Caribbean, I'm sure, don't even know there are black people in Brazil. That's how bad it is, my friends, because wherever we go, whatever we see on TV, is all mostly white people representing Brazil. And I showed you the government before. I showed you how they look like. The representation is very, very, very low, my friends. But thank you for watching this video, and of course I will see you again in the next video. But before I go, please like the video, share it with all your friends and family, and please comment your thoughts on this topic. And also watch my other videos on my channel. I was in Africa for 4 months, and I did videos of me I was in Uganda. I did about 30 something videos. Check out that playlist on my channel. I did Kenya for about 3 months in Kenya. Check out my playlist. I got about 30 something videos there, my friends. So watch the videos on my channel, comment on them. The mission of this channel remains the same. Its mission of this channel is to bridge the gap between Africa and the Caribbean, and also African American, my friends, Black America. African Americans. We're powerful in America, my friends. And we're gonna bridge the gap. We're gonna make our triangular trade. Triangular trade. You remember that you hear something called during slavery, the European had their triangular trade? Well, we're gonna do the same thing when we bridge the gap from Africa straight to the Caribbean, up to North America, down to South America, across to Africa, and we go all around. That is what we're gonna do, my friends. They're panicking now, but they cannot stop. Cannot stop us. They cannot stop us now. We are stronger than ever, and we're gaining strength day by day, my friends. So thank you for watching my channel. Please consider subscribing, sharing this video with all your friends and family, and please comment on the channel. My name is Bjorn. I'm in the beautiful island, Twin Island paradise of St. Kitts and Nevis, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.